day in Natrani with Mallika Sarabhai. I said, Mallika, tell me what is world-class performance, right? And let me give a quick narrative over there of informality, you know. So Mallika made us do various things. Two examples I'll give you. So first thing she said in the morning, I want you to do some exercises. And I noticed that we all started doing some exercises. We were in a circle. She noticed one guy, his name was Sanjay. She said, hang on a minute, you stop. I said, then he stopped. And once this was done, she came and asked him, do you have a problem with your back? He said, yes, I have a problem with the back. I mean, wow. Here's a person who's a dancer who knows the ins and out of her profession extremely well. Now, no, I will not get that learning anywhere. Then another thing which happened to me was, she made us all sit and, do some steps of dancing and all that, movements. And then, there was a person playing a dholak. So we were going according to that movement. When he increased the pace, we increased our pace. When he reduced it, we reduced our pace. For me, it was a wow moment because I don't know his name till now. But he influenced me. So when I put it back in everyday life, there are several who are influencing me, I do not know them. It could be my cook, it could be my driver, it could be the bearer here. There are several. The person who brings your laundry, who might, burn your suit on an important meeting. So these are the people who influence you, right? Are you conscious of it? So I think these are certain various aspects of informal learning. And why should we do it? If I may answer that question,
Sure.
I think, the axis is shifting of responsibility. When I began my career in the early 80s, so we had mandates of 5 man-days of training. So on the good companies did 15 man-days of training. And my very second day in job was on training. So we did a lot of it, a lot of whatever we talked this morning of roti and all these things. And then now the axis has shifted from the organization to making yourself competitive. I believe it is your own responsibility. Otherwise, there are so many people and someone else will take your position. So I think that is the important thing,
Okay.
being competitive.
Amy, one intermediary question around informality or informal learning. One of the dimensions of informal learning is that not only the people learn from their seniors by observing, by seeing what they are doing, how they do, etc., etc., but also the seniors learn from the juniors, from the youngsters. And I think today one of the major challenge we have is, and that's a requirement, that the senior leaders must be able to learn something from the juniors also, because the fact of the life is the young generation, the Gen Y, is much more exposed, much more aware, much more tech savvy. So I think these youngsters have a lot to offer, and the seniors can learn quite a lot from them. So do you have any experience or any take you have around this area? Maybe in 2 minutes, if you can share your comments.
No, I think, many places it's successful. We can look why it's successful. Or we can also kind of examine why it doesn't happen easily. Because you see, as a country and as an organizations, we still in India are hierarchical and feudal. So we say, I know more, I'm the repository of knowledge, right? And, but actually you don't know. I learned pivot tables from one of my assistants. I knew it is important. Because when one of my bosses asked me, don't you know the pivot table? I did not know what it is. Then I said, yeah, samjha mujhe. Then he said, very easy, come, it's like this. Then I started playing around with it. But if I did not learn, if I went by my tag of CHRO or director, then I said, then they will not teach me. Last week I learned, just the 2 days before Diwali, my secretary took ill. And all these years, my cards used to go. She used to do that, mail merge and all that. Then I said, you tell me, boss, how to do this mail merge. And I learned it was so simple. So it was evening, it showed the steps. So I think 2, 3 things are important. I think curiosity is critical. Next thing, which is absolutely critical, is humility. I think if we are in that situation of our visiting card, no way. And for me, the great mystery is people, should not know who you are, but what you do is more critical.
Sure.
So I would just distill it and not take more.
Sure. Thank you so much, Amy. Now, moving forward, we have Yashveer with us. Yashveer comes from the social enterprise kind of background. So, Yashveer, if you could give a brief introduction about what you do and what your firm does, maybe in a summary, quick 1 minute, and then share your thoughts. What kind of challenges do you face in that environment? And how do you make sure that the people who are delivering the service, they are able to engage meaningfully the beneficiaries, and what skills do they need to acquire to be able to do their jobs effectively? The reason is that the similar experience we also see in the commercial organizations as well. And so if you could share in maybe 3-4 minutes, and then we'll move and then we'll continue again.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prem, and thank you all of you to be here. It's been a lovely afternoon so far. So very quickly, I come from an organization called Ashoka Innovators for the Public. We are a global network of social entrepreneurs. What Ashoka does primarily is support social entrepreneurs in their early stages so that they can scale their work and go on to build organizations which can have lasting impact. Coming back to, I think, why this session is relevant and why we see the need of informal and blended learning while working with all these social entrepreneurs. So currently Ashoka in its network has almost 3,600 fellows across globe, and this includes Nobel Peace Prize winners, people like Mr. Muhammad Yunus, Kailash Satyarthi ji, and so on. So one of the things which we have learned is unlike the corporate sector, most of these social entrepreneurs do not have enough resources or sometimes even the bandwidth to conduct formalized trainings which can cater to their needs, which can help them build those organizations, etc. So this concept of informal and blended learning really makes a difference. And one of the powerful insights, Prem, if I look at all these social entrepreneurs, has been how they leverage the peer-to-peer learning. And I'll go back to the example which you were giving, where a lot of people nowadays are learning from young people, and I'd like to share a story. So more recently, Ashoka has started working with young social innovators. And when initially we were trying to launch the program, we felt, I think, the right age group will be somewhere around, say, 20 to 25, because that's when you are into college, you know what you want to do in your career, etc. And we just invited open applications from people who are working on bringing some social change or building some enterprises. And we were surprised by the more innovative models were coming from teenagers. And just to give you a case study, I think when the Delhi government launched oddeven.com, I'm sure you must have heard there is this 13-year-old boy who came out with oddeven.com website, which is about carpooling, because everyone was struggling how they will commute from point A to point B when they cannot take their own cars. And the solution was very simple. Why can't we carpool? Right? So he launched this website and 30,000 people used that service just over a 15-day period. The story doesn't stop here. He also went on to sell his company to another carpooling company, which is called orahi.com. And here's a inside frame. I think when so I was interacting with the founder of Orahi who took over this company, and he narrated a very powerful incident where he said that when first time we met and we got into conversation with a 13-year-old, it changed a lot of our thinking. And what it did to the organization culture is that now the organization strongly believes that it's not that hierarchy or top-down is the only way. Everyone in the organization can contribute, and everyone can lead if given a chance, which has made the organization culture more open. And I think it brings that peer-to-peer angle again, where everyone can learn from each other and they can express their ideas and their mindset. And maybe I can share more as we go on. Thank
Sure,
you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Yashveer. On my left hand side, I have Vinod. Vinod heads one of the large businesses, CHRO of one of the large businesses in Aditya Birla Group. Again, a very seasoned HR leader, very respected HR leader. So, Vinod, Gyanodaya is something that comes on top of the mind when you think of Aditya Birla Group. And I know that a lot of things happen beyond Gyanodaya also in your group. So, can you share one or two of those things in the space of IBL which have made a tremendous impact within the Aditya Birla Group? Specific, something which has really helped you.
Let me tell you, the commitment of Aditya Birla Group towards learning and development is immense, and Gyanodaya, it's a learning temple for us. We are operating in Gyanodaya on this for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we have realized, of course, the formal training programs also happen, but we have experienced that people learn only when they are free, when they are in an informal environment. And now we are promoting that the relationship, as we tell, creating a task force which is of a similar level people,
Yeah.
buddy relationship at the time of induction. These are the kind of forums which we feel that they are contributing to the learning of the people to the maximum. When we talk of informal learning, generally we ask people, because we are a multi-business and multi-location group, whenever there is a problem comes or there is an opportunity comes that the X business or X location needs something, we immediately move on to our portal that who is a person who has contributed maximum in this area. And we ask that person to visit that different business and work with the people of their own level and help them to solve the problem, learn maximum, and give them the kind of inputs which they need. As a result of which, the skill from time to time gets honed up, and it's a parallel learning because the people who are there, they are of the same level. We have invested in a very unique kind of initiative and an intervention which is called Margdarshan. In this kind of intervention, I would say the basic punch point is that a person is at liberty to declare himself that he is an expert in particular area. Suppose a person immediately says that I have a good expertise, I have worked in X area for 15 years. We try to put this to his superior, and they just try to validate that information based on their experience because they are in touch with the individual, and we accredit that individual as an Arjun of that area. That yes, on a particular skill he is an expert, and that information is posted on a website, which is an internal website. Whenever a issue comes which relates to that kind of knowledge, the people are opening that website and are finding that how many Arjuns are there in that particular area. Suppose in a mechanical there is some breakdown, and to that equipment there are 2, 3, 4, 5 experts. Immediately the person will be contacted.
Yeah.
And as a result, the person will ask the time that I can come in 2 days or 3 days, and he will himself browse, he will send the information on email, he will initiate all kinds of efforts to find out how the solution can be given to the unit which is in problem, and as a result